supporting you in your dog parenting journey. The Dynamic Dog Owner with Debbie Potter. Welcome to the Dynamic Dog Owner. We are going to be looking at how reframing our mindset will help create a more positive outlook and help you to understand things a little bit from a different point of view, because our mindset is incredibly important. Mindset helps with everything. It's incredible how just looking at the world from a different perspective or looking at a situation from a different perspective can completely change how we feel in training. I find it's very easy to feel deflated. People, myself included, going into training or life with a negative and feeling a little bit negative is not going to help you with your success. It's not going to be easy. It's going to make it so much harder. Looking at things positively and just reframing our thoughts and switching our mindset to look at something in a more positive light is simply going to change everything, because it's going to make you feel and approach situations from a different point of view. And more often than not, we look at things from our own point of view and how it's influencing us and how it's affecting us. When we stop and look at the world from a different point of view, we get a whole new insight that can help change everything we do. With ourselves, we go, I can't do that. I'm not very good at it. Oh, that's not my strong subject. Rather than going, I haven't learned how to do this better yet, or I am still learning and growing in that area, or maybe I'm better at something else, that's my strong point, but actually these are the things I'm quite good at in this area. So we can look at it slightly different. Rather than saying I can't do it, I am learning how to do it. So when it comes to our dogs, how many times have we said, oh, my dog can't do that? Oh yeah, my dog's not clever enough. We instantly shut the situation down and go, nah, it's not going to happen. Whether that's so that we are setting realistic expectations, but is it realistic? Or are we shutting something down and not giving it an opportunity to flourish? Rather than saying, my dog can't do that, we can simply say, they can't do that right now. They can do this brilliantly, but they're working towards that other thing. They can't do it yet. And yet is a very, very important word. Yet means I haven't got there right now. I'm not at that place in my training journey or in my life now, but I think I'll get there, and I'm going to get there, and I'm on my way to that. So I'm not there yet, but I can. So including that yet at the end of your sentence, I'm not there yet, makes all the difference. My dog can't do that right now. My dog isn't clever enough yet to do that. My dog isn't mature enough yet. Changing that mindset instantly from the beginning will start to help. So I've been in situations where, with my own dogs, when I've gone, there's no way they are ever going to be able to do that. It's just not possible. They've proved me wrong every time. We may not be at the end of our journey, but what is the end of our journey? We may not be there right now, but every time I've said that they can't do something, or I've thought they're not going to be able to do something, in time they have proved me wrong. So at that time, rather than me saying, my dog can't do that, me simply saying, they're not there right now, but we're on our way towards that goal, helps change our mindset. So one example would be Dave. Dave, as you guys know, if you've listened to previous episodes, is a frustrated greeter. So that means that he is a little bit barky and a little bit noisy, and he gets very excited. And it's quite embarrassing to take him out, or it used to be before I changed my mindset. 5 years ago, I would have said, nah, Dave can't do that. I can't take Dave out. I can't take him on a walk down a street. I can't take him to a group class because he can't do it. But if I had said at that time, we are working towards it, then my goal and my mindset would have changed, because now I can walk him down a street. Now I can take him to places. Now he does get to come to group classes. Yes, he's not perfect, but he can do it and he can achieve. So think of when we say I can't do it, think of a 1% change. What 1% can we change to help our dog improve and progress and get to where we want them to be? Think of small changes, small, tiny things at this moment in time seem insignificant. They are one step on your journey, one step along the road to get you to your end destination. Think of a 1%. Things we see as our dogs being naughty. I mean, we've all done it. We've gone, oh, my dog does that. They're very, very naughty. Or my dog's a bad dog. They're misbehaving. We always focus on what we don't want them to do. So what things could we perceive as being naughty? I don't know. Stealing your shoes, jumping up when you come in, pulling on the lead, not recalling. We focus on what we want them to stop doing. So I want you to stop stealing my stuff. I want you to not jump up at me when you come in. I want you to stop pulling on the lead, and I want you to not run off when I take you off the lead. All of those things are nots. So when we're training, it's really hard to teach a dog, please don't. Because what does it mean? What does it mean? As people, we can understand, okay, please don't do that. I'll stop doing it. But dogs aren't as able to communicate in the same way. They can't understand please don't. It doesn't give clear goals. It doesn't give targets. It doesn't give them something to work towards. So instead, rather than saying, please stop doing this, we can change our mindset and say, well, what would I like you to do? What can you do? What could you do instead? So I want you to stop stealing my shoes. Well, rather than stealing them, I'd really like it if you brought them to me. That way, we are reframing it. Rather than please don't take my stuff, we're saying, please bring my stuff to me. We're giving them a specific goal and a specific target. Stop jumping up at me. Rather than saying stop jumping up, I would like you to place your feet on the floor when you greet me. We're giving them a do, a can-do action and a goal and a target. Rather than please stop pulling on the lead, I'd like you to walk next to me when you're on the lead, please. Rather than please stop running off when I let you off the lead, I would like you, when I let you off the lead, to hang around near me. We're changing the approach to please don't do that. So this is what I would like you to do. So we're thinking of a goal and a target we can actually achieve. When we know what our target is, rather than focusing on the please stop doing something, when we have a goal and a target, we have something we can tangibly work towards. We can see and feel a result. We know what we want. And then we can break that down into manageable steps or manageable chunks and go, how can I work towards that? So what little things can I do, that 1% change, that is a step in the right direction towards my target? We have a particular goal in mind. We then can work towards it. Think of training or anything, a journey, as being like a board game. It's one of the analogies I use quite a lot because I like it. Think of your journey as a board game. At the beginning of the game, you roll a dice, you take a step. You roll a dice, you take a step. You might take 3 steps. Think of your training towards a specific goal as a target, the end of a board game. So we start at the beginning. So the beginning is, what do I want to teach my dog? So we can then break it down into multiple steps and take one step towards that journey. So today we're going to work on this. Then as we build something else in, we're taking another step towards the end goal, and another step and another step and another step and another step. One step in the right direction gets us there. If we never make that step, if we never make that 1% change, we are never going to get there. But setting your mindset and reframing the negative into a target or a goal helps us have that step in the right direction, because we know what direction we're actually traveling in. There's no point us trying to stop something if we don't know what we want instead. Another way to look at this is that we always tend to think of dogs as being naughty or misbehaving. Oh, my dog's a real pain. They steal my stuff on purpose. It's to get me back for being out all day. They try to embarrass me when we're out on a walk because they bark a lot at other dogs, and I find it really embarrassing. Oh, they rip up my sofa when I'm out just to spite me. Dogs don't think like that. They're too innocent to think like that. Something we have to remember is that dogs have the emotional capacity of roughly a 2-year-old. They don't have the complex emotions that us humans have. They don't think about spite. They don't purposefully try to annoy us. They don't do things to get us back for whatever we've done or for leaving them. They really don't think like that. They do things that work. If something gets me a result and that result was pretty cool or I enjoyed it, I'll do it again. Often, what's seen as naughty or misbehaving actions are actually our dogs communicating with us. Rather than seeing it as being naughty, changing your mindset and going, well, actually, my dog is struggling with something. My dog is finding this situation or this task or this environment a challenge. Emotionally, they can't cope with this situation. Emotionally, they are struggling. If we perceive that as being naughty, it changes our understanding. We think our dogs are purposely going out to get us and make our life bad. But if we simply reframe our minds and say, well, my dog's not trying to be naughty, my dog's trying to communicate to me. They're struggling, they're emotional, they aren't mature enough to cope with this situation that I'm putting them in. Our mindset changes that completely. It changes how we approach a situation. It changes how we feel about our dogs. Rather than feeling a little bit annoyed with them, we start to then give them more understanding. We cut them a bit more slack and go, okay, I see it from your point of view. And instantly our life becomes more bearable. So a situation I can kind of relate to with this is when Remus, my middle dog, was going through separation anxiety. I mean, to be fair, he's got a lot of quirks, which we have explored some of. There are a lot more that we can explore because he does have a lot of quirks. Love him. But he was a very, very challenging puppy. I'd come in the first time I left him for 10 minutes. I came in and he'd instantly weed and pooed all over the floor and then trodden in it and got it all over the worktops and all over the cupboard doors. It was great. I could have been cross at him. Oh, you're such a naughty puppy for making this mess. You're such a naughty puppy for not just calmly sitting here while I went out. But instead, this was too much for me to ask of him. Emotionally, he can't cope with it. So changing that, rather than me seeing him as a naughty dog, makes me go, okay, he needs more support. When, even now, he's 4.5, even now when he gets overwhelmed, I know, because I'm looking at the world from his perspective, and because I have reframed my thoughts rather than me going, God, he's so annoying, which, don't get me wrong, I do feel sometimes, but I know the reasons behind it. I know it's emotionally driven. And therefore, rather than me seeing him as being naughty or annoying, I go, okay, he is struggling with his emotions and I need to help him. So the way we look at the world and the way we look at our training and our goals and our success is so incredibly important. Rather than looking at things negatively and looking at things positively, reframing our words, the words we use are incredibly important. So reframing those words rather than my dog is, my dog does, my dog's annoying, can't do this, a pain, spiteful, gets me back, he's trying to get this on me, trying to see everything as a negative, or my dog's misbehaving, my dog's being naughty, all of those words we use. If we simply replace those words with an understanding or a positive, our whole mindset shifts. So what in your current situations that you're dealing with your dogs, would you currently say, my dog's really annoying when they do this? Think of a couple of situations and just think how you can reframe it. So My dog is really excited when I come home and he goes crazy. It's really annoying. We can simply reframe that and go, when I come home, my dog is so pleased to see me, he can't control his emotions. Wow, it's so nice to be that loved. Instantly, rather than us looking at it negatively and feeling annoyed, we go, wow, I am that special that this happens. Me entering my dog's world makes his world a happy place. That's a pretty cool approach. That's a pretty cool way to think about something. Rather than my dog needs to stop barking at people, it's really, really embarrassing. Simply saying, when my dog barks, he's trying to communicate with me and he's trying to tell me that he finds this situation too difficult. Please help me. We go, oh, okay, I understand how you feel. It's nothing about my embarrassment. It's about you feeling more positive and you gaining in life experiences and feeling more confident in this situation. Instantly, that negative that would normally get us down and normally make us not enjoy our journey with our dog makes us feel better. We then enter into our situations in a more positive light, with a more positive approach, and we'll see more success. Our journey is going to be more enjoyable, and those steps on the board game are suddenly going to become easier and easier and easier to reach that end goal, because rather than looking at it negatively, we have reframed our thoughts and looked at it positively. So my challenge for you guys this week is, what thought have you got? What negative thought about a situation, about something your dog does, have you got? And how can you reframe that into a more positive outlook? It will help you to understand your dog and to feel more positive. Equally, setting some small targets rather than thinking, I don't want them to do this. What can they do? What do I want them to do? Then you can start setting a couple of small targets, a couple of small goals that will help you on that journey. And simply doing that will change your outlook on that one task. As always, if you would like to share your attitude that you need to reframe, or the situation that you need to reframe, or how you can put it into a positive of, rather, I'd like my dog to stop, what can they do instead? If you would like to share those with us, head over to our Facebook group, Potterpaws Dog Training Community, where you can share your feedback and your goals with other like-minded dog lovers. Myself and my training team are in the group every day so that we can provide support to anyone who needs it. Do head over into the group. We can't wait to see you there. Have a great week, and I will catch up with you all very soon. Thank you for listening to The Dynamic Dog Owner with me, Debbie Potter. See you next time.